What up, YouTube? My name is Rizil, and I'm about to show you how to do an introduction of a freestyle nature because some of my friends have, I think in conversations, they've asked, how do you do like your intros and stuff? So you have a script and then you do no, I freestyle. So without further ado, I'm about to show you a freestyle intro because I'm all natural with this shit. First time reactions, first time introductions, first time everything. What up, YouTube? My name is Rizil, and I'd like to welcome you back to my channel where I do reactions, where I release my music, where I do podcasts now. I just released my first ever audio podcast. I'm looking to improve the quality and the nature of how I do it and stuff. I am currently broke as a joke. So I don't really have the best equipment so far. I mean, look at the mic. I have to hold it to my like my mouth instead of like using one of those big mics. But hey, man, God is my witness. I will get to a certain like level going into the future. But without further ado, let's get into this reaction today, guys. We're going to be doing an NFL reaction, and it's going to be related to the 10 biggest freaks of nature in the NFL. We can believe that because so far from what I've learned from the NFL, it's like a bunch of muscular guys that move like bullet trains, which is insane. You know, you don't expect people to move that fast. I mean, even in boxing, like you see like the weight difference in terms of, that's different. In the NFL, you have to be big and like move at a certain speed and fast. Whereas like boxing, bro, obviously when if you have the same type of training, the smaller guys are still gonna be faster. Whereas the bigger guys, no matter how fast they get, they're not gonna be as fast as the smaller guys. Why am I rambling on, bro? I'm gonna go down a wormhole, guys. Let's just take a look at this 10 biggest freaks of nature in the NFL. Let me educate myself. Let me provide commentary. And yeah, something new for today. Let's learn.
The NFL is filled with the biggest, strongest, and fastest athletes in the world. We've become desensitized to the unexplainable things these guys do every weekend. To stand out among all that, well, it takes an absolute freak of nature. If anybody on this list can't make it in football, they might have a shot to make it in Space Jam as one of the Monstars. Here are the biggest freaks of nature in the NFL today. George Kittle. George Kittle is so much more than just the NFL's best blocking tight end. He's also one of the freakiest athletes we have in the NFL. He's skilled at everything. Lightning quick, agile, a great receiver, a touchdown scoring machine, and he's almost impossible to bring down. He can even effortlessly jump and touch a 12-foot ceiling. Somehow, Kittle came from tight end to U, the University of Iowa, and was still overlooked by 32 teams, falling to the 5th round in the 2017 draft. At 6'4", 250, running a 4.5 40. Kittle's athleticism was on display early. In his second season, he broke the single-season tight end receiving record. The most impressive part of Kittle's record-breaking season was that he led all the players in the league with yards after the catch. He outmuscled, sped past, stiff-armed, and juked for 870 yards after the catch. Kittle's the friend you have that's just good at everything he tries. You know, if your friend was the best tight end in the NFL. Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack has been head and shoulders athletically superior to his opponents since he played at Buffalo University. Mack's long arm rush, as both a Raider and a Bear, shows off his ridiculous length and enormous power, chucking full-grown offensive linemen off their feet as he pummels the quarterback. With one arm, Mack recycled Tristan Wirfs after he already sacked the quarterback. Mack isn't into the finesse game. He'll just run straight through you, as he possesses the best bull rush in the NFL. On his first night with the Chicago Bears, Mack's thirst for quarterbacks and superhuman genes put on a show on Sunday Night Football. He snatched the ball right out of Deshaun Kaiser's hands for a strip sack. The very next drive, Mack caught an incredible interception and housed it. Khalil Mack's rare brand of freak has become the cornerstone of the Bears franchise, Julio Jones. Julio Jones must have been in the league for so long that people have just become accustomed to his absurd abilities. Jones isn't talked about much among the best athletes in the NFL, when he clearly should be. It's like just because the Falcons lost the Super Bowl, we all forget the catch that Julio made at the end of the game. You know, the one that only Julio Jones could make. Julio has been doing that since his days with Bama. At 6'3", 220 pounds, Jones is one of the most menacing receivers ever. Julio combines size with 4.39 speed, making him a matchup nightmare. He's all
Guys, inform me of one thing in the commentary section, which I'm thinking of, because I have a couple of questions in my head, but one of the questions you guys already answered a long time ago, so I already have the answer for that. But in terms of like the weight limits, in terms of the minimum weight limits, in terms of getting into the NFL, and height limit, what is the minimum weight and height you need to get into the NFL? I don't know whether I should specify for what you call for different positions, or I should just say no. Let me just say in general, because for different positions, I you know what, you guys, you've done a pretty good job in terms of your commentary, in terms of leaving like whole lots of like information in the commentary section. Say in general, like what is the minimum weight and height that you need to get into the NFL, and then say for like specific positions that you fancy, or you like, or you're interested in, or if you just want to say in general, tell leave your comments below on what is the minimum physical requirements for those types of jobs. I'm not asking for a friend or for me. I'm just asking for interest, because nah, past soccer and MMA and like stuff like basketball, guys. It's not for me. I'm lean. I'm lanky. You know what I'm saying? You see, you see. I only started putting on muscle like when I was 21, bro. I've grown up a skinny kid.
So a walking 100-yard game. No, literally. He averages 96 receiving yards a game in his career. Jones' catch radius makes him Matt Ryan's best friend. All you have to do is throw it near Julio's zip code, and he snags it. Julio is what happens when a 99 percentile athlete has all the skills to go along with it. You get a first-ballot Hall of Fame freak of nature, Saquon Barkley. Have you seen Saquon Barkley's quads? They're not just the size of tree trunks, they're the size of redwoods. You need the legs the size of Barkley to make 7 USC defenders miss on one play. In his time at Penn State, he not only became a legend on the football field, but also in the weight room, as he set the power clean record, throwing up 405 pounds, benched 225 pounds for 30 reps, and squatted 525 pounds for 5 reps. Barkley runs a 4.340 at 6 foot 230 pounds. He can stop on a dime, blow past defenders, and even bring the truck stick. But his specialty is going over defenders. Those massive legs sprint right over tacklers as they hit Casper instead of Saquon, who speeds to the end zone. In his first season,
Hey guys, I'm freaking wondering, because here's my problem. Don't laugh at this. I've told this. No, I haven't told this story on the channel, but I've told it in my social media and stuff. When I was growing up at a certain level in primary school, I think at like seventh grade or something, I started to get chubby, but it would all like go to my hips in terms of like getting chubby. So I had a little bit of a fat ass. Pause. And so when I got to my teen years, I started to like obviously like the height gain made me like it brought the skinny back into me, but I was still left with thick thighs. Now I got thick thighs, pause, but I don't have like thick legs. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have thick legs, and I'm just sitting here wondering like how do I get like thick legs and thighs, like with quads and everything, because I really need it for MMA, guys. I'm not doing MMA like professionally and shit, but I just want my body to be a certain level, bro. Like, and like all the running I do, I need to buy a bicycle. Like, how do I get it naturally on a low budget? You know, just give me advice in the comment section, because honestly speaking, I need it. I need it in terms of like my legs, man. My legs, you know, hey, bro, just help me, because I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, fuck. I know I can't get to your weight class, especially since like body types we different and stuff like that. But jeez, man, at least like the legs, man. Give me legs so I can teep kick someone at least, man, with power.
in New York, he had 2,000 scrimmage yards, a rookie record, and 15 touchdowns. But nobody talks about his second year, where he came back from a nasty high ankle sprain to have 1,400 scrimmage yards. If Saquon stays healthy, there's little to no doubt he will dominate the NFL. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is on this list for far different reasons than the others. Lamar is quite possibly one of the fastest players in the league, reportedly running a 4.3440 at Louisville back in 2017, and trying to tackle him is like trying to catch the wind. Jackson isn't a very strong player, but his ability to cut on a dime or spin out of tackles is second to none. The Ravens have built their entire offense around Lamar Jackson's unique ability. Even when it looks like he should hand it off on the read option, Jackson pulls the ball and slithers past opponents with ease. Jackson's running style looks like it's being played at 2 times the speed, and everyone else is on normal time. To make matters worse for Ravens opponents, Jackson has a rocket arm that is pinpoint accurate when he's set. The only comparison to Jackson is Michael Vick, but Vick wasn't nearly as far along a passer at Jackson's age. In his MVP season, Lamar's abilities helped the Ravens become the greatest rushing offense in the history of football. When you put into perspective how much more prevalent running the ball was in the past, the Ravens obliterating the all-time rushing number is a testament to Lamar Jackson's absolutely freaky abilities. Tyreek Hill. You've probably heard the term track speed. Oh, he's got track speed on the football field. Well, how about gold medalist Olympic speed? That is exactly what Tyreek Hill has. Hill is without a doubt the fastest player in the NFL, and arguably the fastest player the league has ever seen. Appropriately nicknamed the Cheetah, Hill chucks up the deuces as he pedals past the plane of the end zone, and is a nightmare for defenses all over the league.
Shit, man, he's so little. Look at him go, bro. Like, look at how small he is. Like, it's reminding me of the movie Rudy, where, like, Rudy, like, he, close to the end, he sort of came to terms with the fact that he'll never be a football player because no matter what he does, he's just too small. But this guy is too small. So what is the difference between him and Rudy? I know there's also, like, the difference in terms of, like, physical abilities, right? But in terms of even like height, like again, what is the limit in terms of like physical requirements in terms of height and weight? You know, I'm sure this guy, in terms of maybe I don't know weight and being able to like maybe like you know the obviously the God given physical attributes of like we've just heard he's the fastest player that's ever played in the NFL. Like you know those helped him get into the NFL, but man, like he's so little, man. Like, what are the requirements? Shit.
Fact, NFL teams build their entire game plan around Hill's blazing speed. There's not a combine run to quantify his speed, but at his pro day in 2016, some scouts hand-timed him at 4.21 in the 40. Even when Tyreek doesn't have the ball, he's running fast. On an 84-yard Damian Williams touchdown run, he ran up to catch up and celebrate, clocking in at an amazing 22.81 miles an hour. You can visually see Hill running like everyone else is in slow motion, cruising by defenders trying to get the ball carrier. The way Tyreek Hill just zooms past some of the world's best athletes is simply jaw-dropping. Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is the most underappreciated freak in the NFL. A man at 270 pounds should not be leaping over other men and doing windmill dunks in his spare time. Garrett's explosiveness is unmatched on the line of scrimmage. He's long and strong. His first step dominates blockers and resets the line of scrimmage. While he's still developing as a defensive lineman, Garrett can get by on just his pure freak athleticism alone. He has arguably the fastest get-off of any D lineman in the league. And that comes from the inhuman power that allows him to box jump while holding a pair of 40-pound dumbbells. The explosiveness of a 6'4", 270-pound man who runs a 4.4 in the 40 made him a unanimous first overall pick. And he's the last guy you'd want to meet in a dark alley. DK Metcalf. To show what kind of a monster DK Metcalf is, we have to start with the pre-combine pictures. Normal humans don't look like that. They just don't. If we look like that, we'd never wear a shirt either. But DK isn't just a 6'3", 228-pound behemoth with 5% body fat. He's one of the league's fastest receivers as well. He showed it with a 4.340 time at the combine. DK can just outrun defenders. If his speed isn't fast enough, his 40-inch vertical leap to jump over corners will do just the trick. And if you think you can just jam him at the line, well, good luck. Metcalf's 27 reps on the bench press is more than any receiver in recent history. Quite simply, DK Metcalf makes you believe in the unbelievable. Like maybe aliens are already here on Earth. He's the league's largest receiver, and when he's not running past defensive backs, he's hawking them down. Sorry, Buda Baker. Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was told before the draft he was too small to be an elite defensive lineman in the NFL. Opinions like that are why people get fired. Donald makes up for some slight size concerns by being built like Hercules and possessing the fastest feet in the NFL. He broke the 40-yard dash record for defensive tackles at a ridiculous 4.6. Yeah, you heard that right. 280 pounds running a 4.6. But Donald's long-distance speed isn't even as impressive as his reaction speed. He darts and cuts through blockers like a knife through butter, obliterating plays, sometimes at the handoff. The old saying, if you can't block 'em, read 'em, doesn't really work on Aaron Donald either. With the short area quickness of a running back, Donald somehow plays both sides of a read option run, changing direction if his first choice is wrong. Aaron Donald doesn't just have speed though, he has the ultimate combination of both speed and strength, considering he benches upward of 500 pounds and can lift grown men off the ground like children. Part of Donald's pure freak ability is his certifiably insane workouts. He's even been seen improving his hand speed by dodging knives. Aaron Donald is the ultimate make you take a second look player in the league, and he's definitely the most valuable defender. Derrick Henry. There's never been anyone quite like Derrick Henry. He's a 6'4", 250-pound running back, larger than every linebacker, and not much smaller than most linemen. Not to mention, he runs a legitimate 4.5, so a guy that towers over defenders can also run faster than them. If Henry gets 4 to 5 steps going forward, it's like trying to stop a freight train. He's almost impossible to bring to the ground in the open field, and has arguably the greatest stiff arm in NFL history. Just ask Josh Norman or Earl Thomas or anybody on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Henry's freakish ability has terrorized Jacksonville since he was in high school. Once you're done with this video, go look at Derrick Henry's high school football highlight tape. Henry only gets better as the game goes on, or maybe the opposing team just gets tired of tackling him. The defenders don't realize just how impossibly fast Henry is until he breaks away from them, and they don't realize how strong he is until they're flying through the air. Derrick Henry defies human physiology, and for that, he's one of the NFL's biggest freaks of nature. So, there you have it, the biggest, freakiest players in the NFL. Who's your favorite player on this list? Did we leave anybody out?
Go check out Nonstop, the YouTube channel, man. Nonstop Sports, yeah, go subscribe to them, go check out their content. Thank you for this video in terms of providing it for reactors like me to know this shit. But what can I say? Final words is, honestly speaking, I'm sorry to bring it to my neck of the woods, in terms of my likes, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing because I think the like football players, if they like maybe retire early, right? Because you say this is a dangerous sport, it's a risky sport. Not all of them retire like Tom Brady basically and go into their 40s still playing football, but they retire quite early. A lot of them would do great in MMA, especially if they have a wrestling background. If you have like a guy like Brock Lesnar, especially, a collegiate wrestler, a NCAA champion, Division 1 wrestler with like experience. I think Brock Lesnar was a walk on for a team. He was even like offered a contract to go to the NFL. Did he even play in the NFL? I think he played in the NFL and then he just walked out of it because I think he wanted to go. Yeah, he that after the NFL he went to go do MMA, and we saw how well he did. But honestly speaking, there's a lot of talk in the MMA community where people say, and I agree, that he would have done better if he didn't come into MMA with so much wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? Because prime Brock Lesnar in his youth and with all the talent he had, honestly speaking, if he came into MMA at that young age, he would have been a beast. You know what I'm saying? If he came into the age into MMA in the with that age in that age of the way John Jones came in basically. Although John Jones came in a little bit early, whereas Brock Lesnar he went through the entire NCAA process and everything. He would have been a beast, man. And you see a lot of these football players like Impa Kasanganai. I think he was part of the NFL too. I forgot which team he was a part of, or maybe I'm wrong. Leave your comments below. But he's doing pretty okay in MMA. He's not in the UFC anymore, but he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter, and Usman's brother, Kamaru Usman's brother, he was in the NFL, and I think he retired because of an injury, and now he's like a heavyweight, not contender, but he's in the heavyweight rankings, and he's moving up slowly. he's gaining some wins, man, and he's truly looking impressive. You know, shit like that, bro. Like when I see shit like that, I'm like, yo, man, these guys, these freaks of nature, bro. In terms of a fight, if they get their shit together and like get their hands, get their hands rocking and steady and proper and know the basics. You don't need to know fancy shit, bro. Not everyone is a Israel Adesanya. Not everyone is a Conor McGregor. Not everyone is a specialist like a GSP. Not everyone is Prime Anderson Silva. But if you get your hands with the basics, just like how Lima beat Michael Venom Page, you know what I'm saying, with the basics, and then you know how to. All after that, all you need to know is like to get your grounds game together, and then you kill the game because you're already a fucking freak of nature, bro. But that's been me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notifications. I think in soccer, the only freak of nature we could say who is like exceptionally big, but like he's fast and he's a beast in terms of soccer was like a old Brazilian player. He was called Hulk. He was called Hulk because he was so muscular and he used to move like a bullet train and shit. That's the only guy I remember who was like maybe a freak of nature in terms of looks. I don't know so much in terms of attributes, man. I was a kid back then. Hey, but that's been me, hey, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notifications, and thank you for joining me today. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Boy, this ain't Beverly Hills. This ain't the land of the rich, but still, we all got heavier bills. I had a couple of seconds to kill, and I used the seconds to kill. All of you kids love to pop pills. We poppin' pills to live. I got an effortless pill, but still, shit.